Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you a new speed build, and this is a speed build that is very special to me. Today I decided I'm going to build my house. Well, it's not really my house anymore. Something not a lot of you guys might know about me is I actually lived in California for a time period, and this is the house I stayed in, and I have a ton of great memories in this house and I love the layout, so I decided, I'm gonna challenge myself this week. Girl, yes. This is still a house I go and visit quite often, actually, and I just decided let's kind of reminisce a little bit. I've been thinking a lot about the future and where I want to end up, and so that got me thinking about where I have been and things like that, I guess. And so it was kind of more of just a sentimental build. Anyway, this build is quite interesting. Well, it might not be interesting to other people, but for me it's interesting. When my grandparents bought it, it was, I want to say, either the 80s or the 90s. And the house at the time was about half the size that it is now, and so a lot of it is renovated, and it's been renovated throughout the years multiple times. It's been redone. It's, not really the same house it was, but still the same house, if that makes sense. Anyway, I love this house. I adore this house. It's one story, and a lot of people, when I tell them I've lived in California, they're like, well, did you live in this giant mansion? No, I lived 5 minutes from the beach in this really weird kind of like, not really, you'd think, what's a beach house, but it is, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyway, I lived quite close to the beach, about 5 minutes, not even maybe. Building this house was actually a really hard challenge for me, mainly because the lot sizes are really different, and I don't know if there's like, a way to customize lot sizes, but the lot in real life is long and skinny and kind of shaped like a pizza slice, so like a triangle a little bit, if that makes sense. Um, but in The Sims, there's only like 40 by 30 or 40 by 20 or like 20 by 30 or whatever it is. There isn't really like a 20 by like, 50 or however many squares I need. So I did have to cut off some of this house. I cut off the garage, and the backyard is like really small. Although there is a smaller backyard back there, if that makes sense. I'm probably making zero sense right now. So right now I spent a lot of time working on the little courtyard. This is a very nice feature in this house, and I have been inspired to do similar features like that in my upcoming builds. And oh my gosh, my game is lagging so much. Like my editing software is lagging so much because I have so many things open on my laptop right now. Anyway, I do use the move objects cheat on this. I think that's the only cheat I use. I also use the like 9 and 0 keys to raise and lower some things, but other than that, I don't think there's any cheats really. The house, if anyone was wondering, is 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, so it's a decent sized family home, I'd say. When I looked it up on the gallery, or like when I went to go upload it onto the gallery, it said it was about 150,000 simoleons, so it's definitely kind of like not a starter home, definitely not a starter home, but a house that your Sims can grow into as you progress in your game, or for renovation purposes, whatever. Speaking of renovation, I love it when you guys send me pictures of things you've done with my builds, so if you want to send me pictures of things you've done with my builds, or just playing in my builds, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll leave all that stuff in the description below. You can also find me on Snapchat. I have my Snapchat set to accept chats from everyone, so if you want to like chat with me, we can do that. We can be buddies. So this is the driveway. The driveway has kind of like this curve coming out of it, but because the lot is kind of shortened, I shortened it. And there's also a little kind of like garden area right in the middle with some trees. And to be honest, okay, so right where you see that planter thing, kind of like little half wall poking out from the kitchen area. Well, you don't know it's the kitchen yet, but that's where the garage would be. It extends out, and then the planter is on the side of the garage. So just in case you're wondering where the garage would be in this whole mess. The planter, California is always going through droughts, which, again, not a lot of people might know unless you like live there. I know it's been on the news and stuff. So there isn't a whole lot of greenery and plants. I have some trees in the yard, but for the most part, the rest is just kind of like Yeah. And so in the build, it probably looks a lot nicer than it does in real life. I'll say that. Over on this side, there is a hedge. It's a brick wall and a hedge on top of the brick, kind of separating our lot from the neighbor's lot. And then there's fences going pretty much all around the entire thing. And around like half of the fences, there's a little bit of like a garden, or the backyard is kind of connected to it. So, you know, there's plants. In that middle section, that little section in the middle of the courtyard that's covered in dirt, that has been many things during its existence. We had a pool there at one point, like a little pool. We've had a trampoline right now. I don't know what it is because I obviously am not there at the moment. Last time I was there, it was still a trampoline. I don't know what it is currently, though. Anyway, I'm going through and adding some plants. I'm actually really happy with how my plants went. I like to layer, and I've been playing a lot with kind of landscaping in a bunch of builds that I haven't recorded, you know, just playing around, and I'm really happy about it. So I might even include a video on my personal kind of tricks and tips for landscaping, because I know that is one of the hardest parts of builds, in my opinion, and I want to be able to help you guys out as well if you guys like building. But other than that, this build is pretty much kind of like self-explanatory on things that I put in it. This has been one of my longest builds, actually. I spent 3 hours. I had exactly 3 hours and 5 minutes of footage recorded from this build alone, and I even like cut out some of it when I was going back and refining some details. So, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know if I just took a long time building it or if I was trying to incorporate as much detail as I could, but it took me forever. I kid you not, I was like exhausted by the time I finished this build, and I was like, what the heck, how did I just spend all that time on this build? Anyway, so like, what's good? I haven't talked about, well, I have talked about my life, I guess, because this was my house. What can I update you guys on? I've uploaded on my main channel. I always go back and forth between uploading consistently on that channel and uploading on this channel and my vlog channel. Like, I kind of like circle through them, which I need to get out of that habit and actually upload. So if you guys want to check out more videos of me, or if you for some reason have some interest in like looking at my life, you can follow my vlog channel and my main channel. I'll leave those in the description below. I've just totally like plugged every single social media I own today. You know? This is the living room and dining room combination, and my editing software is still very laggy. I used some Move Objects cheese for this, by the way. I put some bookshelves next to a little TV stand and then made the TV bigger. Well, wait, no, I didn't even make the TV bigger. I changed the TV. Never mind. I'm like backtracking. I'm really excited. I haven't built in a long time. Like, I spent a couple months away from simming and gaming in general, and so I haven't had a whole lot of time to build or make gaming videos, and I've come up with so many cool ideas for builds. I recently went and saw Moana, the new Disney movie, and I am currently kind of playing around with ideas for builds that I'm going to do for that, kind of just like Moana inspired. What else? Oh, I never mentioned the name of this house. So if you do want to get this house, it is on the gallery under the hashtag JessGames or the user 5LeansandMN, and the name of the lot is Casa del Ardilla, which, if I translated or spoke correctly, is Home of Armadillo or Home of the Armadillo. I speak French, not Spanish, so I have no idea how accurate I am. But I know people call their houses like Casa del and then like something like Casa del John or something. I don't know. Whatever. I don't speak Spanish. It's all good. We all know that I can't speak Spanish, but I have a love for tacos, so that'd be kind of cool, like doing a taco-inspired house. I am getting like so off topic right now. I need to be focusing on the build. So anyway, this is like kind of the formal dining area and the family history center, if you will. We have like a lot of memorabilia. We have a lot of like kind of like artifacts or photographs and kind of just items up on the shelves and on display about like kind of older family members that have passed. And it's just kind of like the mosh pit of history. Relics. I don't even know where I'm going with this. And then that little table right in the corner is technically the dining table, but it is pretty much mine and my grandma's puzzle corner. We like to do our puzzles together. This is the kitchen, and it is probably the nicest room in the whole house just because it's been remodeled the most. It's actually, now that I think about it, quite a big kitchen compared to a lot of kitchens. It's just very, very packed. We have a big pantry. We have, a dining table. We have, like, bar stools. There's, like, anything you can eat in there. Uh, there's one thing I have a complaint about in The Sims 4, and also I have some praise for whoever, like, works for the Sims company. Thank you for adding in toddlers, and now can we get more color schemes and, like, different wall shapes? Because we can do kind of slanted walls, but I wish we had kind of more customization on, like, how much we can slant it. Right here, as you see, we have, like, double ovens, which I couldn't quite figure out how to work in The Sims, so I ended up just, like, putting cabinets there. But that's what that was, in case you're wondering, like, what the heck is she doing? Yeah, that was supposed to be a double, like, stove. And that little gap between the cabinets where I end up putting the trash can in either a minute or I already have is where the door to the garage goes. So then there's, like, steps leading down into the garage right there. I tried to fill, can't grammar, Jesse, oh my gosh, I can't with words today. I tried to use a lot of clutter in this build. I feel like I cluttered and used more decorational objects than I normally do, because normally when I build my builds, it's kind of like more of, I want to say like a model kind of home, like the kind you go and you look around when you go to buy them. And this one, I wanted to seem more lived in. I just opened up like 50 tabs. I wanted this to seem more lived in than, a normal house, I guess, that I build. This front room is what I like to call the purple bedroom. I've stayed in all 4 bedrooms in this house. This is my favorite one just because I think the lighting is the best and I think it is quite roomy and I like my space. I love my space. And as usual, I never mute my text notifications on my laptop when I go to film. So then, of course, whenever I film, it's always when my friends start texting me. Like, they don't ever text me until I'm, like, filming, which is really annoying. They don't know that. This is the bathroom, the first of 2 bathrooms. The second bathroom is a master bathroom, so this is pretty much the community bathroom. And this bathroom is kind of what I based the rest of the house on, because I knew where the shower is and I knew where the toilet is. And so I kind of use that to decipher space, if that makes sense. Like, space and how wide and depth perception and stuff, all that weird things. Probably didn't do it right. In fact, this whole house is, for the most part, pretty accurate layout-wise, but I feel like some of the rooms were bigger or kind of, like, misproportioned. So, whatever. Out over here in the outside area, I put some lockers because we have storage kind of cubby things over there, and I have no idea what's actually in them. I've only looked in them, like, twice in my entire lifetime, because they're dirty and gross and they scare me. And so there's just like kind of outdoor storage, and then there's a boat over there as well, which I don't think I've ever even used that boat. I've never seen that boat out of like the little kind of garagey drive-in area. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Oh. This middle bedroom is the bedroom that I consider to be my bedroom when I go, because this is the bedroom that at one point I had complete control over. It has really sucky lighting. It's very small. I have a queen bed in that room and a desk and some bookcases, like more bookcases than I actually put in there. But because, I wanted these items to be usable and they aren't necessarily usable even with cheats in The Sims, I had to settle for kind of a twin bed and minimal furniture in this room. But just to clarify, it was very cramped because it kind of had like all the extra furniture that none of the other rooms were using. And also, another thing I didn't mention, but I figure a few people at least will question, is why did I put mirrors in front of the kind of dressers or the closets? And that's because all the closet doors in that house were mirrors. So they were like mirrors that would slide to the side and then you could put stuff behind them. This back room is the second most used by me room. I don't know words. This is the room that I share with my cousin, and so we'll usually share the bed, and then she has a really kind of open room. She doesn't have a lot in it. It's pretty much just a lot of space. I love this room though. This is probably the room I would pick second after, excuse me. This is probably the room I'd pick second after the purple room. But this looks like just pretty much a stereotypical teenager's room. She has like the colorful chairs, she has stuff on the walls, and the fairy lights. I love fairy lights. I am a sucker for fairy lights. I keep Christmas lights up on my wall year round in my current room. You guys probably know more about my personal life than like anyone I know because I just sit here and ramble about my life. And then this last room back here is my Omi and Poppy's room, my grandma and grandpa. It kind of is an all-purpose room because they have a treadmill, they have like office stuff, and they have probably my favorite bathroom out of the 2 bathrooms because there's only 2 to choose from. They have a walk-in closet. I made that kind of so there was 2 mirrors and then like a little archway so you can get in. I had a hard time furnishing this actually, the closet part, because I didn't know what kind of items to put in there. Like, I knew there were shoe racks and I knew I could put like a dresser in there, but I didn't think there was like clothes racks or anything. So, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, that for the most part is the rundown of my life in this house and all the rooms in it. I hope you guys do enjoy this video or did enjoy this video. There's still about a minute and a half left of video part and then there'll be screenshots. But if you do like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I try and do builds and I'm recently getting into my LPs again, my Let's Plays. So if you want to watch those, you know, feel free to check those out and be sure to share this channel with your friends, your family, your goldfish, anyone you think would enjoy watching it. And leave suggestions for other games I should check out. I want to try and play some different games on this channel, which is one thing I want to do this, like one of my New Year's resolutions. I want to try out some new things, new videos, and make more content for you lovely people. Wow, this video has like gone all over the place, I feel. What else can I tell you in the last few seconds? I am doing inspired builds, so if you have a specific like location or kind of just like a specific thing you want a house inspired off of, I would love to do that. And one last time, thank you Sims for toddlers. It made my life, and I hope everyone watching this has a lovely day. I will see you guys all later, and have a very lovely day. I already said that. Okay, bye guys.